sees to exercise caution and carefully verify the nature of the job offered. Myanmar's military, which seized power in a 2021 coup, is losing control of several towns and military outposts across the country and is being overrun by rebel fighters in parts of the north. MUDA will hold its first party elections in the second quarter of next year, following recent developments within the party. Acting President Amira Aisha Abdul Aziz says the party will also implement its rejuvenation agenda with immediate effect.
MUDA has the authority to extend party elections until 2025, as stipulated in the Societies Act 1996. However, Amira said the decision to hold elections earlier was for the party leadership to receive a fresh mandate and open a new chapter. She added that the rejuvenation exercise would include a review of its members and expanding its Sekolah Muda program. MUDA held its first Central Committee meeting since Syed Saddiq stepped down as president after he was found guilty of 4 corruption charges on November 9.
More than 360 million ringgit has been lost to investment scams in 2023, with Bukit Aman investigating an average of 15 cases daily. Commercial Crime Investigation Department Director Datuk Sri Ramli Muhammad Yusof says a total of 4,435 investment scams were reported from January to October.
Ramli said the number of investment scams had increased by 54.1% compared to the same period last year. A total of 540 cases have been prosecuted so far, with majority of the scams carried out online via social media platforms. Ramli said most of those targeted by fraud syndicates this year were in the 31 to 40 age group who worked in the private sector. This was followed by civil servants, housewives and retirees.
In other news, the Employees Provident Fund EPF flexible account will be launched in April of next year. Deputy Finance Minister Datuk Sri Ahmad Maslan says the EPF will announce its dividend in February 2024, at which time more details on the flexible account would also be revealed. Relevant agencies have already given their feedback on the third account. He said the public could also write to the Finance Ministry and EPF to express their views on the matter. Ahmad Maslan added that the account would not affect members' savings, as a certain percentage would be deposited into the account and it could only be withdrawn in case of emergency. During the tabling of Budget 2024, Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim announced that the government would introduce flexible EPF accounts for immediate withdrawal. The government is working on developing an online system for children to report crimes against them. Law and Institutional Reform Minister Datuk Sri Zalina Uthman Said says further details on the reporting platform will be announced next year.
The system would be introduced to curb underreporting and encourage children to come forward online. Asked about the tabling of the Children's Commission Bill, Azalina said the first reading would be tabled by the end of the current Parliament session. She added that the Human Rights Commission of Malaysia, Suhakam Act 1999, had to be amended to allow the Children's Commissioner more legitimacy and to operate more efficiently.
There has been an alarming rate of children's death due to negligence in daycare centres that have cropped up in recent months. Suhakam Commissioner Professor Datuk Nur Azia Awal suggests a better monitoring system in order to curb the problem.
One of the biggest problem in terms of TASCA and daycare centres is where they are not even registered. Yeah, they are in operation. To me, it's illegal, quote unquote, but there was no monitoring. And then when a TASCA owner starts its operation, they will need to hire the caregiver, yeah, and that means that they will take anyone, they will probably advertise, try to find someone to be able to handle the daily, care of these babies and children. And that is one of the reasons why negligence happened, because maybe there all this the TASCA owner may have gone through certain training, but the employee of that TASCA may not have gone through the training.
Noor Azia said while there are many measures to solve the problem by the government, the most important measure to address the issue is to have better enforcement.
To me, the measures that we have now, even CCTV is not even compulsory. We have the regulations. If you want to start a nursery, you have to get a license. They come and inspect the place, the premises, and it must have all the basic things there. But at the same time, JKM, as the authority in charge of doing the monitoring visits. When do they actually visit? Before, when someone actually applying for the license, and then they probably do once a year or once a month. And I mean, the spot check is not regular, and a lot of people, that is why we have a lot of TASCA or daycare centers which run without license, because nobody actually do any screening, anything. And of course, those caregiver, those employee of that TASCA must actually go through medical checkups and all that before they actually start to work to look after babies. That's very important.
To mark World Children's Day, Suhakam's Noor Azia highlights the important role of the public in ensuring better protection for children. She says the public must remain vigilant in detecting cases of abuse or neglect and act swiftly within their respective neighborhoods.
What is very important, one is awareness, and secondly is to make sure that the general public also have the responsibilities to actually be the eyes and the ears of these babies, of these children, because they are not there. You cannot hear them saying, please help me, I'm being abused here. So we, as being the society in general, must be able to keep on a watch, keep when you hear, you live in a neighborhood where suddenly you can hear children crying so loudly or something, and people quarreling. I mean, people used to say that, it's mind your own business, why you bother with what they are doing. But I think it's very important when children are concerned, because they have no one to talk to. They don't have no one to actually tell their story. So we need to be on the watch out and then help those children who are being abused, who have been suffering silently in their own house, to get out of that. And this is where I think where Minister actually has said, Minister of Law, she was saying that in terms of sexual abuse, she would like to enforce Section 19 of the Act of the Sexual Offences Against Children Act, which she wants everyone that knows about sexual abuse must make a police report. And if you don't, then we will prosecute you in court because you did not come forward to make a police report. So I think this is something that we need to be able to do it. We have to have a campaign. We have to have the public feeling the passion that they want to make this world, Malaysia, a much better and safer place for children.
We'll take a quick break. Don't go anywhere.
Ada berita yang lebih baik, melainkan berita untuk semua geng Mobile Legends. Bang bang.
Ready guys?
Kau ingat main game tu boleh bagi kau makan minum ke dia?
Tak nak jadi pro gamer.
Boleh dapat 50,000. Main macam ayam.
Kau ingat dengan subang sungai wang tu kau cantik.
Kat! Kenapa kau orang tak pegang mangkuk?
Gamers Mangkuk, tayangan perdana 1 Disember on demand dan Astro Premier.
Pergerakan Hamas tegaskan operasi ketenteraan Israel yang diperluas ke utara Gaza menemui kegagalan.
I can see all the attempts of the Israeli occupation forces failed. Qassam brigades successfully fought.
Jumlah bantuan yang masuk ke Gaza tidak mencukupi dengan keperluan penduduk.
Needs are growing ever more critical and colossal, despite needs being far greater than they were at any time before.
Ikuti perkembangan terkini. Buletin AWANI 12.30 hari.
Welcome back. Israeli tanks have surrounded the Indonesian hospital in northern Gaza. Health officials said there are about 700 people inside the hospital, including medical teams and wounded people, as well as those who evacuated Al-Shifa hospital and moved to the Indonesian hospital. At least 12 Palestinians were killed and dozens wounded by Israeli forces firing into the complex. Israel said it was targeting terror infrastructure and accused Hamas of waging war from hospitals, which Hamas denies. Gaza's health ministry also dismissed Israel's claim that it found a Hamas tunnel at the Al-Shifa hospital, describing it as a pure lie. Meanwhile, a first group of premature babies evacuated from Al-Shifa crossed into Egypt for medical treatment on Monday. More than 24 babies from Al-Shifa were expected to cross, while several others died amid a collapse in medical services as fuel ran out. Argentinians have elected Javier Milei, an ultra-conservative economist, as the next president of the South American country. The right-wing libertarian won the second round of the presidential election, defeating Sergio Massa, the economy minister from the ruling party.
Milei landed some 56% of the vote versus just over 44% for Massa, who conceded defeat soon after the polls closed. Milei is a newcomer to politics, just winning a seat in Congress 2 years ago with his ultra-conservative Freedom Advances party. He has pledged to battle Argentina's staggering inflation, now at more than 140%, by replacing the peso with the dollar. He's also promised to slash Argentina's generous state spending and subsidies. Milei's outspoken style has drawn comparisons to politicians such as President Donald Trump and Brazil's Jair Bolsonaro.
Meanwhile, hundreds of alleged members of Italy's most notorious organized crime group, the 'Ndrangheta, are due to be sentenced today after a nearly 3-year trial. The 322 defendants face charges including drug and arms trafficking, extortion, and mafia association. The trial marks the most serious blow to the 'Ndrangheta, which has a near monopoly on cocaine trafficking in Europe. Over the decades, the organization has established bases across much of Europe, as well as in Africa and North and South America. It is estimated to earn more than 254 billion ringgit a year worldwide from drug trafficking, extortion, and embezzlement of public funds. The Vigo Valencia court has heard thousands of hours of testimony since the trial began in January 2021, including from more than 50 former mafia operatives turned witnesses. They told of weapons hidden in cemetery chapels, ambulances used to transport drugs, and municipal water supplies diverted to marijuana crops. The central figure in the case, mafia boss Luigi Mancuso, was dropped from the list of defendants last year to be tried separately. Sam Altman, who was sacked as the CEO of OpenAI, the creator of ChatGPT, will join Microsoft to lead a new team focused on artificial intelligence. Microsoft CEO and chairman Satya Nadella said that Altman, former OpenAI president Greg Brockman, and other colleagues will be joining Microsoft to lead a new advanced AI research team. Nadella said Microsoft looked forward to working with OpenAI's new leadership team, including interim CEO Emmett Shear. 38-year-old Altman co-founded OpenAI in 2015 and took the reins as CEO in 2019 before he was suddenly ousted by the board on November 17. The decision faced significant backlash from investors and employees. Several key OpenAI investors have been pressing the board to reverse its decision and restore Altman as CEO. OpenAI kicked off the generative AI craze a year ago by releasing ChatGPT. The chatbot became one of the world's fastest-growing software applications. That ends AWANI Tonight. Thank you for watching.